Hi everyone, Dan here. Today I'm doing a boneless pork shoulder to make pulled pork in this beautiful Canberra weather. Look at the ice everywhere. Well, here's I'll show you. The dog bowl's frozen. Miserable place. God bless Queensland. Anyway, today I'm doing this pork shoulder, and I'm doing it in the smoker as I always do. I'm using cherry today to smoke it with, and I've used this rub, and it's the first time I've used this rub. I injected this yesterday, and I put it in the fridge to sit overnight. I'll put a description of the recipe I used to inject it with in the description below. But basically, it's just some apple juice, apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of this rub, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and that was it. So simple injection. I've rubbed it last night, let it sit overnight, and again I've added more rub this morning. So I'll put this in the smoker. This is going to take probably about 10 to 12 hours to do. I'm going to let it come to an internal temperature of 71 degrees Celsius before I wrap it, and then we'll wrap it and let it come to an internal temperature of about 92 to 93 degrees when it's pulled. I did want to get a shoulder with a bone in it, but unfortunately my local supermarket I couldn't get that, so this one's boneless, but it'll still work. I've done them before. I'm mucking around with the injections to see if I can't see how it gets, if it can get better, because pork shoulder is one of those meats that it's very fatty, so we'll see how that goes. We'll come back when I'm ready to wrap that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've just probed this, and it's 71 degrees now, so I'm going to take it off and wrap it and then put it back until we reach the internal temperature of 92. So this is what we're looking at right now. As you can see there, there's a fair bit of juice coming out of that, which is good, and it's developed quite a nice crust, so I don't want that juice to go to waste. So I'll get that onto my board, get it all wrapped up, and get it back into the smoker. So that's how we're looking now. It's about six and a half hours of cooking at about 100 degrees. So we'll come back once that's at 92 degrees internal. Okay, so we've hit a temperature in the internal of 93 degrees Celsius. I left it, should be about 92, 93, won't make much of a difference. So I'm going to take this off now. I'll get this ready, put it in my cooler here. I've got a towel in there. I'm going to let this rest for about 2 hours. So I'll get this off, put it in my cooler, let that rest for a couple of hours, and actually I've got a tray over here. Anyway, I'll put that in the cooler, let that rest for a couple of hours, and we'll come back and shred that when we're ready to go. This cooler is actually pretty good. It keeps the heat in rather well. So we'll come back when we're ready to go. Okay, so I've let this rest for about an hour now. We'll get this out and have a look at what it's like. So we're going to shred it using the forks. You can do it with hand if you've got gloves, but I'm not too worried. I want to get all these juices, make sure I don't let them go to waste. As you can see, there's quite a fair bit of juice in that. So this has got the net on it as well, so forget about that part. Should have prepared for that. Not to worry. I've got a pair of scissors right here. So we'll get this off, and this should shred apart nicely. So I would have actually preferred one with a shoulder bone in it, but unfortunately, like I said, the local Coles that I got this from didn't have that. There goes the fat cap from that. That's fine, I'll keep that there. So this should now shred nicely. So falling apart, shredding up. I could break this away with my hands, but as you can see, that's coming apart quite nicely. So that there is our pulled pork. You can smell the sweetness of the apple juice that's in that. I'm hoping the vinegar I put in will give it some tang as well. I'll come back and shred all that, but let's, first things first, give this a try. I'd be interested to see what it's like with that rub that I've got, because I actually went all out and bought some rubs that were half decent rather than what I'd usually get, but you can see that there. I think it's a little bit. That's quite nice. Nice amount of sweetness. The trick is obviously cook it however you like in the smoker, that is, in the Fornetto. Put it in 100 degrees, let it reach 71 degrees Celsius, then wrap it until it reaches 92, 93 degrees. Then you'll end up with your pulled pork like that. Whatever rubs you want to use, I'll leave that completely up to you. If you want to inject it or not, once again. But this is the basics of how you do your pulled pork. Louise just wants to try some, so see what she thinks. What do you think?
That's nice.
It's quite good, isn't it? So we're using this tonight for soft shell tacos. So that's how you do a pulled pork on a Fornetto smoker. So until next time, guys, take care.